Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a Leetcode medium question that I just solved on my own. So I'm really excited about this because I struggled with this for a very long time, and today I buckled down and tried to make some observations and I was able to solve it on my own. So again, I'm really happy about the fact that I was able to do it without any assistance. So let me show you. This one is a similar question to merge intervals, which is a grind 75 question. So that kind of gave me a little idea of what to look for. So basically you want to split the string into as many substrings so that each letter appears in at most one part. So if you look at this diagram, it's actually pretty self-explanatory because what we want to do is look at the index of A and the last index occurrence of A, and then basically get the maximum. So you're basically merging intervals with the index where all the characters appear. So let me show you how that's done. Basically, we want to create a default dict so we can track each value, each letter, and where it appears. So for I, C, and enumerate S, D of C, dot append I, and let's print this dictionary. Cool. So now you can see from this diagram that we have 0 to 8, and this is ignored because this is already inside of this. 1 and 5 is contained inside 0 and 8, and that is the merge intervals part. Same with 4 and 7. Now we have a new interval, so 9 and 14, that's continued. 10 and 12 is within this, so again, merge those together. 15 is not, so let's go ahead and make a new interval of 15, and then you would just keep merging until you get to the end. So after you see 15, for example, you would just basically, we don't include this because 10 is still smaller than 14. And then 16 is where we actually start to include things. And again, we just keep merging. This is less than or equal to this. So 1622, 1623. And that's the interval because, again, less than 19, 18 less than 19. And then this is obviously within 16 and 23, 20 and 21. So we don't include those. So let's go ahead and actually create a list so that we can just go through the dictionary and append dk, and let's print current because we only care about the indexes, right? So let's run this. Okay, so now what we want to do is merge as we've talked about. So for I in range length cur, let's call this answer. And now basically, again, we just want to go from the first to the last as with merge intervals. So for j in range I plus 1 length of current. So at any point, first of all, answer is an empty list. So if not answer, then append cur of I. Otherwise, right, if the current I of 0, like this, has to be less than the biggest element to the right, is less than or is bigger than answer of -1, which happens to be 8, then we can append current of I. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter, right? So because this is not bigger than 8, so we don't include this interval at all. We do include 9 because 9 is bigger than 8, which is cur I 0, because this is the current interval we're iterating over. So as we iterate from 1 to the end, again, we're just going to ask if current of j of 0 is less than or equal to answer of -1, right? For example, this is less than, then we're just going to merge it. We're going to say which is bigger. 8 is bigger, so we don't even include this interval because this is within 8 and this is 4 and 7 is contained within 0 and 8, right? So in that case, we just take the max of answer -1, and then current of j of 1, right? So 7 and 8. So at the end, let's print answer. So otherwise, let's see what's going on here. Out of range. So if not answer, yep. So I don't know what's going on here. Otherwise, maybe answer.append current of j. So we're just comparing the biggest again. Okay, if current is less than or equal to, let's print answer. Okay, so now we have current of j and answer. Okay, that's fine. So, and, okay, so again, if it's bigger than, then we can append it, right? So let's look at answer and current of j. We're going from left to right, obviously. Okay, so now, in this case, if current of j is bigger than answer of -1, -1, then we can append current of j. Otherwise, we compare the biggest element. So answer -1 is equals to max of that, and cur of j of -1. Oh, cur j -1, sorry. Okay, so if cur of j is not an answer because we don't want duplicates, right? Let's print answer at the end one time. Okay. So let's see what this is about. So this looks right. 10 to 15, 16 to 19, except looks like we didn't really merge correctly there. So answer -1. Let's print answer current of j. So we're fine here. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. Let's get rid of this. Answer is current of j, current of j. Okay, this is fine. Okay, I guess you can say if current j of 0 is less than or equal to, then we can do this. Otherwise, then we can append, right? Let's print answer at the end. Okay, cool. Because only if this is less than or equal to this do we actually merge, compare these two. Not if this is bigger than this. If this is bigger than this, then we just append it if it's not this interval inside of this matrix, if it's not already in it, because we don't want duplicates. So now that makes our job easier, because if you see what answer is, we can just say 978. So now let's call this result for a and answer. Then we're just going to append the biggest, which is a -1 minus a of 0, the smallest, plus 1, right? And then we can just return the result. So let's submit this. And there you go, passes all test cases. Again, I'm pretty happy that I was able to solve this one on my own, even though it's not the most efficient. So, yep, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.